Good afternoon, everybody, and today on PincheAls Garage we're going to teach you how to take off pretty much the front suspension and spindles on a Mark II GTI. If we have enough time, we'll probably work on the rear as well, but that'll probably just make a separate DIY. That way we can separate the front and the rear for you. So as always, let's break, fix, and repeat, because this is PincheAls Garage. First things first, on Mark IIs, they have these cool little caps on the top. They expose pretty much the Allen bolt or point and the socket here. So we need to get that off to get the cap off for the top of the strut. Once that's off, pretty much it'll drop the coil over here, or the shock, and then we're going to need, there you go, these two bolts, and that's pretty much the removal of the shock, and pretty easy on these cars. And then the next thing is, since the axles have been removed already, we need to just remove the inner tie rod right here, or the outer tie rod bolt. Break that loose, and then that's pretty much it. And then that drops the actual hub here. We're no longer using GTI hubs, and we're going to be upgrading to Corrado spindles. So these are now useless to me. I no longer need these, so they're just going to come right off. So we need two bolts here and then that removes this portion. And then once we get this portion off, we'll get the top one off next. This is just to leave it here for stability, since it's all like loosey-goosey since the subframe is removed now. So we got a lot of stuff to take off, because all of this is coming off on the car. Front and rear beam, the rear beam's also coming off, so we can get that taken care of too. So let's get to work, guys. So what you're gonna need to do to get this one going is a 19 wrench and a 19 socket, and that's broken loose now. Make sure you have a breaker bar, because if not, you're gonna have a hell to pay to try to break this loose. It's already giving me a hassle. Now, every bolt that you take off, remember, tag it and bag it. So So the tie rod end right here is also a 19. Now, since I don't care about keeping these old ones, we're going to do something that I like to do. It's really easy. get the nut towards the bottom so it's nice and flush, if you can do that. Right there. And get yourself a 3-pound little sledgehammer and then whack the crap out of it. And it should pop right out. Now this is the part where I tell you to turn the volume down because it's going to get really loud. This is a 2.5-pound sledge, but if you have a 3-pound, even better. Like I said, if you're not going to reuse these, then do this method. Because this is just really quick. You don't need to buy a tool to pry it off. This is faster than that. So get a good aim for it and then give it a good whack. And that's off of there. I'll get that out of the way. Now back to removing the spindle here. There's that one. Now I don't know if I can reuse this dust cover, so I'm not going to get rid of it immediately until I get the new parts for install set up. So don't toss anything away yet. Keep it. Maybe we can modify it to make it fit, because my new spindles don't have dust covers on them. So we might have to modify stuff to make it work. There's that. Spindle off. All that's left is just the top hat, or the top part of the shock, or the strut, if you guys want to call it. This is called a Mcpherson Strut, and because the spring and the shock are all one piece, and it bolts onto the rest of the suspension or the drive steering system. So now we're all loosey-goosey. Now we gotta take off the top portion. Let's get to that. Now this is where it gets loud. So you need to use your impact gun if you have one. And just take these guys off. There's a tool you can get with a ratchet, and that you can try to, but you're probably gonna waste more time trying to do that than trying to just take it off with an impact gun. Sometimes these things thread on because the holes are like the exact size, so easily you can just thread them off. And that's it right there. So I'll do it again so you guys can see it. Make sure you turn your volume down because it does get loud. Okay, there we go. Let's quiet for the moment. So, I soaked them in WD recently, so it helps out to get them loose. Whoever had this car prior put 2 nuts on here, so I'll have to take one off at a time. It's gonna get loud, just like before, so be pre-warned. Alright, so mine's almost all the way off. So I'm not going to take it all the way off yet because I still have to do the 2 bolts down below. But I pretty much can thread it off by hand now. I'm going to put it back on a little bit so it's not too loosey-goosey down there. But that's it. That's how you remove pretty much the struts and the spindles on the front. Next DIY, next time you guys see me, we're going to be doing the rear as well. We're going to make this a multi-parter because this is a lot of work we're getting involved. We're just removing, remember guys, we haven't even gotten to the point where we're actually going to reinstall all the new stuff in here. So there's a lot of new hardware. We got to get new bolts, we got to get new washers. I mean, everything has to be replaced on this car. It's a really old car, so I want to get everything out of it first, and then once everything's out, I'm going to start grinding and shaving. Because remember what we said before, we're going to shave the bay, we're going to make this thing look brand new, and a little bit of custom work involved too. And we're going to do a lot of cool fun stuff that you guys get to do with me and work with me. So thanks again for watching this episode of PincheAls Garage. I'm going to get back to this, and as always, we're going to break, fix, and repeat. Peace out.